You know, I'd say about 6 years ago, I had a nice little piece of property. It was up in outside of town. It was 180 acres. Um, and I was woke up one morning by my girlfriend at the time. She said that she heard a bunch of coyotes in our field, and I got out of bed. It was 4:30 in the morning, and the wind was blowing, and I mean these coyotes were just yapping and yapping and yapping, and it was freaky. They were so close, and it kind of scares you a little bit because you have a newborn, and she was heading to work, and I was home, so I loaded the gun up and I sat and I waited to make sure that they weren't coming on the property, but. As these coyotes were going bat shit crazy, a tree fell, and then not 10 seconds later, another tree fell. And I only mention a tree because yes, it was windy that day, but I went up there after it got daylight, and these trees that fell were about 12-inch trees on the stump, and they weren't dead. Uh, I just can't explain it, but in the middle of all the yapping and everything of these coyotes, there was a loud growl, yell, I guess you'd say, like a loud yell, growl type thing, and it sent shivers down my spine. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get bothered by much. Like I said, I cut timber. Well, I cut wood. Because we had a wood burner. So my girlfriend at the time, she would work until 11 o'clock at night, and I would go up into the woods after she got home, and I would cut wood until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, get a truckload, bring it down, so I had it all throughout the day and everything to keep the house warm. And while I was up there, I had acorns and rocks and sticks all thrown at me while I was running a chainsaw, and I always had a headlamp on, and it freaked me out because you look up and you'd see eyes just staring at you, but they were way up in a tree. They weren't down like a where a coyote or even a bear would be. They would be like 8 feet up. Um, that was definitely pretty scary. It was scary. But I had to do what I had to do because of my family, and I never got hurt. Never got nothing ever attacked me or nothing like that. I go bow hunting, and I'd always go out in the woods an hour early, and I'd climb a tree stand. And one morning, I was sitting in a tree stand, and any hunters out there that know how tree stands work, you get up in them, and it was a single man tree stand, which made it hard for archery, but I was limited because of what was already on the property when I got the property. So, and this tree stand was probably 20 feet. Well, no, I lie. It was maybe 14 feet in the air. It was 3 sections high, and then the platform. And I had something come walk through the woods, and and you don't think about it until later on. Like, it was weird because it was bipedal, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I sat in that tree stand, and I heard it coming from the right behind me, and it walked right underneath the tree stand, and it bumped the ladder. Like, it kicked the ladder out as far as it would go, against its straps. And I thought it was just a bear or, a critter of some sort like that, like a coyote maybe, because I mean we had a lot of coyote up in that area. Always got them on trail cam. I always got the bear on trail cam. I had deer on trail cam, and I didn't know what it was at the time, but it definitely hit the bottom of my ladder, and you could feel it like push out on the bottom, and that, I think the fear of falling got me more than the fear of whatever hit me, because like I said, I wasn't thinking of it as being something that big. And now that I think about it, the brace that comes off the tree onto the ladder was about 9 feet off the ground, and that's what they hit. So uh, and then, like, we have a place over here, it's called Kennerdale. You go across the top and you come down, and then you ride it out along the bottom, along the creek, and it probably goes for about 5 miles or so. And it's thick thick woods, timbers on each side, and it's pine, and it's oaks. There's a mixed timber type thing, and you go until you hit the bridge, then you go across the bridge and then up a hill, and it's all thick all through there. And I've had what I thought was a bear until, like, it's one of them things that just make you scratch your head, like, what was that, because it looked like a bear that ran across, but it also looked like a monkey on all fours where its ass was slumped down, and like it was just odd. And I'm not one of them people that think that Bigfoot or are like these mythical, magical creatures. I believe that there are Bigfoot around, and I also believe that they are just another animal, just another animal, just a little bit smarter than the rest, because they can stay hidden, they can stay out of sight, out of mind, and they can avoid people. I believe that they have like sixth sense, like people do. Uh, if we had the same senses that we had, 10,000 years ago, you'd be able. It's almost like ESP. You'd be able to sense things. It's almost like meeting somebody for the first time. I could tell within the first 5 minutes what type of person they are. And I believe that we just lost our ability to do what we used to be able to do, and I believe that because they survive off the land, and they survive, in the timbers, and they survive, basically in a herd mentality type thing, I guess, because you have one male and then a bunch of females and babies. I believe that they just have like that type of mentality with enough brains to be able to avoid certain things. Like, they can see infrared. Their eye shine is a little bit different than other animals. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. That's my stories as far as that goes. I have a few more, but if nobody's interested in hearing them, I'm not going to really get into them, because it's a lot, But if you're into it, by all means, drop a comment. Please subscribe. I have a few stories from other people that I'm going to put on. I know there's a lot of people out there that's seen these, and I have a few that I'm going to do a collab with, or maybe a green screen with. A guy that has like a Bigfoot head and a Bigfoot body, a Bigfoot, cut up or whatever. And everybody says it's not real, but he put a lot of detail into these things just for them not to be real. That's all I can say. So if this is something that you're into, if you like the crazy, off the wall, stuff that other people will call you nuts for type stuff, then you come to the right channel, because I'm not narrow-minded enough to think that we are the only intelligent species. You know, I mean, I'm giving Bigfoot its credit. You know, I also believe in UFOs. I know that we're not the only thing in this whole galaxy that, you know, we're not the only planet out of all them stars. You're telling me that not another star like that has a planet that orbits it that can support life. I mean, there's no way that we are the only ones. I get, you know, there's a lot of things to it. You know, just like there's stories in the Bible about, you know, before the moon was in the sky. You know, there's a lot of theories to the moon and everything. I'm kind of torn between a lot of them. Some of it's a little bit of, but I believe in other things. So I mean, if this is something that you're into, by all means, comment, shoot me a message. We can hash this out. But yeah, that's my Bigfoot stories. If you have any Bigfoot stories and you want to send them to me, by all means, I am more than willing to accept them, and I will make another email so people can email me their stories, and I'll put them out there. You know, we're right next to Ohio, where I'm at, so there's a lot of Bigfoot action over that way. But yeah, tomorrow I got I got to be at work by 4, so I'll be changing trailer tires, some wheel seals and everything, and I'll be recording it to give you an idea of how my days usually go. So most definitely subscribe to my channel, drop me a like, and hit me up, man. Like, if you're into what I'm into, I'm all about it. You know, even if you're not into it and you want to argue that I'm wrong and you're right, I'm about that too, because I have enough proof and evidence to say that I am justified in how I believe. So shoot me a message, drop me a like, hit that subscribe button, pound that subscribe button, punch that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize. I'm a single father. I have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old that are with me. They are my whole world, and this is my baby right there. That's my 1-year-old. So I have a 6-year-old. I have a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old also, but they live with their mother. I got the 6-year-old and the 1-year-old. So it's more of to take care of them, because as a single father, I can only do so much. So by all means, if you feel so inclined to, drop me a like, hit that subscribe button, and tune in, because I mean, I'm almost certain that I'm going to bring you guys stuff that interests you and you can relate to, because believe it or not, I'm no different than anybody else. I just like putting it out there to see if I can relate to other people on a different level. So y'all have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow at work, and we will get some stuff done. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.